Hello everybody, this is Mr. Schwartz. I'm back with another How to Draw video, and as you can see today, we're going to be doing a very fan favorite character from the Despicable Me movies, a Minion. Meet me on the other side of the scene transition, and we will learn how to draw him or her.
So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do here is make a brief outline for a circle. I'm just going to roughly sketch one in, and then I'm going to come back through it and make a nicer looking circle over the top of it. That's just the way I do things, but if you just want to start out by drawing a plain circle, then that's alright. This is going to be the majority of his facial features for the Minion. Now we're going to make a line straight down the middle, and then one straight across to divide it into four roughly equal sections, sort of like if we divided a pie. And now we're going to take the middle line and drag it down further down the page, not all the way to the bottom, leave some room at the bottom. This will represent the rest of the Minion's body from here to here. Coming back to the face, now we're going to start drawing a circle for one of his eyes. We're going to draw one with two eyes, and we're going to make it fairly large, not too large, because we are going to be putting goggles over the rest of the eyes. And now the trickier part is over on this side, we want to try and mirror what we did on the first side. So basically just take your time, continually erase and continually refine it until it looks about correct. And again, don't make this too large because we want to have enough space to put in goggles on this guy when we get to those details later on. So for now, just focus on getting the circles to look about as good as you can possibly get them at whatever skill level you may be at. Now coming down to the bottom of the circle, we're going to start drawing a loop that goes up, and basically we're going to make a half circle here to form the Minion's mouth, the base shape for his mouth. Starting at the bottom of the circle and then looping up, and try and make sure that there's equal space on both sides using the center line as your guiding point to make sure it's the same on both sides. So he's a weird little happy face right now. We will be changing that shortly. Now coming over to the side of the circle, we're going to draw a line that goes straight down until it reaches the end of the line that we drew before, the one that goes down the middle of the body. You won't be able to see what I do down at the bottom right now because I forgot where the video was, but I'm going to move it down here shortly. So we're going to now come up to the right side and we're going to draw the line straight down. And again, Minions are all pretty much shaped like Twinkies, so they go straight up and down. And you can see here down at the bottom, I'm going to start by drawing it at a sharp angle to finish there, but we do actually want it to be curved. So I'm drawing this way to show you what it should actually look like. So you can see here that we want all the surfaces to be round, because the Minions are made up of pretty much all round surfaces, so try to have as few points on here as you can. And now coming up here, I'm going to clean up the guiding lines by getting rid of the bottom part of the circle, since we no longer need that, because now we have his entire head and body all done. Now coming down slightly below the mouth, we're going to draw a line that goes straight across, and this is going to represent the part for the arms as well as for the coveralls. So you can see here I'm going to start by drawing a stick that extends out, and that's how we're going to build the Minion's arms first, via sticks. The left arm is going up, and the right arm on our side is looping down. We're going to add more details to that later on, but that's all we need for right now. And now to finish off the hand area, we're just going to draw a circle, and then on top of the circle we're going to put 3 sticks, 2 fingers and 1 thumb. We're not going to put anything on the other. We're not going to put any fingers on the other hand because his other hand is going to be curled into a fist. So all we need to do for that is make a circle. Just like so. Coming down to the bottom of the form now, we're going to draw his legs, which are very, very small. They're just basically 2 little small rectangles that, again, you want to try and make about the same size. And don't make them too long either. Regardless of the size of the shape of the Minions, they all have fairly small legs. So again, try and keep them all both the same size. You can see here that I'm readjusting that. And just generally, again, don't make them too long. And then to finish off down here, for his feet, for right now, all we need is just a U shape that connects in there. So again, leave a little bit of space on the side of either part of the form, just so it looks like his pants are extending out further than his shoes are from his uniform. We've now reached the halfway point, and this is what you should have. So moving right along, we're going to come up to the eyes, And we're basically going to be drawing 2 more circles around each eye. Make it a pretty good amount of space, but don't make it dominate the entire face. You should have it about the same size that I have here. If yours are a little bit bigger or smaller, that's fine. Each minion has its own unique character. And over on this other side here, you'll see that when I draw the circle, I'm going to make it so that the points in the middle where the two intersect is very small, but they do need to touch. Both circles do need to touch in order for it to look like that it's one complete pair of goggles. And now I'm going to come in here to the middle, and after I clean that up, I'm going to erase the part where they intersect, so it looks like I have now a big old figure 8 around his eyes. And after a little bit of cleanup, I'm going to come over to this side and draw the side of the goggles, which is just 2 slanted lines that are connected by a curving line, not a straight up and down line. If we connect them via a curving line, it makes it look like the surface that the goggles are coming around is a curved surface as opposed to a flat surface. Little details like that will really help your pieces. And again, just a small line in the middle will finish off all the detail we need. Now we're going to draw 2 circles in the middle of the eyes to represent the minion's actual eyeballs. Now for this one, you do want to be careful and try and make sure mainly that the minion is looking in the same direction with both eyes. Don't make one go too far off to the side. And now 2 other smaller circles inside those circles are then colored black, and there we have Minion's eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean some of these up, and I'm going to make his eyelids by simply drawing 2 simple little loops on the top and bottom of the eyeball. Don't make the lids go down too far, otherwise they'll look like that he's kind of really sleepy. This way you can just make it have a little bit more character just with a few simple loops, much like this. Now coming down to the mouth, we're going to divide it in the middle via a very thin guiding line, a very light guiding line, and then we're going to draw over it with a series of loops that go up to the top of the mouth to form his teeth. We're not going to draw the teeth on the bottom, we're just going to make the top layer so it looks like the bottom part of his mouth is just open. Don't use straight lines for this, you want to use curving lines to give him the actual design of his animation model in the movies. And to finish the whole thing off, we're going to draw the hair up here via a series of loops, about 3 to each side, and you can see I'm going to give my minion a middle part. Make his hair part right down the middle. You can make your minion's hair do whatever you like, it's completely up to you. There's just one way to do it that you can if you so desire. And now what we're going to do is we're going to redraw the line that we had before. I erased it without realizing that I needed it. And then we're going to draw 2 lines on each side, about the same amount of space apart. And this is going to represent his actual coveralls. So you can see I'm drawing it all the way down to about 3/4 of the way down, and then it loops out to the side, and that'll show it going back on the minion's body. And now, to make it actually look like his coveralls, I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to draw the straps for the coveralls, and I'm going to draw them slanted. So you can see here, they slant out to the side of his neck, like so, because the minion basically has no neck, so it has to slant out to the sides to actually work. So again, draw all these lines at an angle, and then what you want to do is over here to finish the whole thing off, is you'll want to draw a loop, a curving line that curves up and back around his neck to make it look like that the coveralls are actually going around a 3D shape as opposed to a 2-dimensional shape. And then to finish it, 2 dots in the middle of each will make the buttons. And now we're going to draw a line straight down the middle here to help us with drawing his middle pouch. So it starts with a line that goes straight across, and then you basically connect it with a U shape. So this is the easy part, because the next part we have to draw is actually the G for the GRU symbol on all the minions' coveralls. So to do this, we're actually going to start by, in the middle of the pouch, drawing a diamond shape. So we're going to start by drawing the 2 sides of the diamond, just like so. And then when we move on to this side, you'll see I'm going to draw the 4th side, but I'm not going to connect the 2. I'm going to leave a little bit of space. So that inside I can draw 2 flat lines here and here. And then I'm going to connect them via a circle in the middle. So that'll give us the vague approximation for what the GRU symbol should look like. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm sure you'll have no problem with it if you just take your time. And then a small circle around the symbol will finish the entire thing off quite nicely. And now we're going to finish off the coveralls over here by drawing two vague pouch-like shapes to show us the sides of the Minion's outfit. So it looks like there's actually a 3D outfit on there and not just something that we pasted onto his body. So it extends out beyond his body line, and you can see it loops back down into the form of the bottom of the line. You can see when I erase this part here that it actually, if I leave this line there, then it completes it nicely. And now I'm going to come down here and curve the sides of the jeans into the rest of the coveralls to make it all look a little bit, again, more curved and less straight lines, less hard angles. This way it makes it look a lot more rounded and a lot more like the actual on-screen animation model. And by erasing a little bit of the inside of the line, but leaving some of the inside area, I can make it look like that's where his legs actually connect up to his body, just like so. Now I'll erase out that line since I no longer need it. And now we're going to draw his arms by simply starting up here and drawing a curving shape for the armpit of his arm. And then after erasing this part here, we're going to come down and begin drawing his actual hand. And we're going to start by lightly erasing out the circle that we have for the hand. And then I'm going to draw a curving shape right here, a little ways above the circle. And then I'm going to draw a looping form that goes down onto the top of the circle. And I'm going to do it on the other side as well. And I'll draw the fist. You're basically going to do a series of loops. We're going to draw one loop that goes around to about the middle of the circle. Then it's going to curve in, and we're going to draw another small loop here, and then we're going to draw a loop from there that goes out to around the circle, goes back in slightly, and then we're going to bump out another loop that travels around the rest of the circle, and it connects back up to the glove. So there we have his hand. His other arm we're going to draw by actually drawing the flesh around the bone stick that we had before. So to do the underside, you just measure from straight across from the other armpit to make sure that it's actually correct in terms of how far down the armpit is. And then just draw the other side of the arm around the skeleton form that we had before. Moving it over so you can see it. Now we're going to draw the glove by, again, stopping a little ways before the actual circle and then bumping the line out slightly so it's a little bit bulkier than the arm. And now I'm going to travel around the circle, and then when I hit the stick, I'm just going to draw a bubble shape or a loop shape around. I'm going to do that again for over here, and I'm going to finish it off for over here on the thumb, just like so. Again, keep them simple, since in the movie they are very simple. They're just a series of loops, nothing too complicated. And I'm actually going to clean up this side of the glove here. I'm going to make it go a little bit further inside and then bump back out a little bit more, just like so, to give it a little bit better form and a little bit better dimension. And then some cleanup on the arm and it will finish it off. Now to do the feet, we're just going to come to the basic shape we had before and extend them out to the sides very slightly, as you see me doing here. I'm going to stop before I reach the end of the basic form we started out with. I'm going to draw a straight down and straight across line to finish the back of the shoe off like so. So it makes it look like his feet are pointed slightly towards us. And then a small little line underneath both parts of the foot give us the soles of the Minion's work boots. And then from here, it's a simple matter of erasing out that base form that we had before. And there we have it, more or less, with a little bit of cleanup here and a little bit of erasing there. I'm going to come back to you very shortly when all this stuff has been cleaned up, and it's time to show you the final product that you actually saw at the beginning of the video.
And with all that done, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves our very own Minion. And of course you can make him taller, smaller, skinnier, fatter, whatever you need to do, because now you know the basic way to make him, so you can exaggerate him however you like. Thank you for watching. This has been Mr. Schwartz for another episode of Mr. Schwartz's Art Hour. Thank you very much for watching again, and I will see you all next time. Have yourselves a great day.